The report.
The recording is in progress. All yours, Barb.
All right, call the meeting to order, roll call, Arlene. Here. Roger.
Here.
Ann. Bill, Joanne is here. Stephen is here. Except everybody.
And Jerry.
I'm here. Didn't write the agenda. Okay, that's everyone. Could I have the approval of the minutes for June 16?
So moved.
Any corrections or additions? No? Aye. Okay, the second.
Yeah.
Is there a second? Sorry. Okay, audience of citizens. Yes,
Do I sit at the table or?
well, you can even stay right there, just give us your name and your address so
Yeah.
that Joanne has that.
My name's Cornell Boudre. I'm at 115 Skinner Road. I'm really here tonight just to ask to see if Commission for the Aging is aware of or has discussed in any way the new senior center proposal for sponsorships and events. I know that's before council now. It was not part of the town council's agenda this past council meeting last week. There's a fair bit of concern that I have about some of the language in it, some of the restrictions, et cetera, and so forth. And I'm concerned that this policy could potentially exclude many groups, organizations from visiting the senior center and speaking before public events for the seniors here. And my question to the commission is, commission is aware of this document, they're aware of the language in it, or they discussed it as well.
I do have a copy of that, of the policy, right? We talked about the policy,
Yes.
and we all have copies.
Yeah, that was something I thought the commission was gonna be discussing tonight. They have not talked about it as a membership yet,
Oh,
okay? This is their first meeting of the year. Yeah,
Well, I mean, I have certain opinions about it, but I feel like I don't want to lose judgment about it.
no, we
Okay?
can discuss your feelings.
go ahead, Roger.
I mean, I feel that it's overly vague, unnecessarily broad in its vagueness, and I feel that the language in it would actually kind of open the doors for a lot of viewpoint-based exclusions, for organizations to come in and visit the center and to hold events and sponsorships. I just want the commission to kind of take that under advisement and then review it. And I hope that the commission provides feedback to council there, and provides good feedback to suggest that, the commission, seniors at the senior center really should be ones to have their own autonomy and to come up with rules and guidelines themselves. I just hope that that is something that's considered when the commission brings up this proposal.
Anyone else?
Is there anyone else, the audience of citizens? You're after audience of citizens. Mayor Mark. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, if there's no one else, then we'll close out the audience. If you're concerned, you have expressed what you're concerned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could go on and I don't feel that it would be right to use up so much of everybody's time in that.
Okay.
Just appreciate the opportunity to talk. And I look forward to hearing what the commission says about the policy.
On the policy. Okay, when we review that, we'll be able to discuss that. You just got, yes.
I'm Charlie Gore, 66 Skyview Drive in Berlin. I'm just here to reiterate what Cornell said and also to mention the fact that there are probably 6 of us here that are, or 6 or 7 of us here that are curious and interested in how you view it, and what you think of it.
Justin Lamoureux, 34 Castlewood Drive. I'm just going to second what Cornell and Carol have said and add that I want to make sure there's transparency both for community organizations and for seniors themselves, and to ensure that members of the senior center and their community, respective community that they have here, aren't finding themselves in a position where they're limited in what decisions they can make for who comes in and who they want to welcome in the center.
Anyone else? Thank you for that input. We appreciate having an audience of citizens too. That's really nice. Okay. Then if the audience of citizens is done, no one else has anything else to say, then I'll move on to, the agenda. There is we have guests tonight, from the town, so the mayor, I'll ask you to speak first.
Sure, thank you. One of the reasons why I wanted to come here was to, make sure, I know you obviously heard about the policy that is proposed, nothing is decided on yet by the council. And wanted to get, but obviously, we had input from two past council meetings. We had some questions about it at our, candidate forum here, so it's logical. I was gonna come to an earlier meeting, but I can't, I don't cancel the meeting.
Yeah, we had to cancel, reschedule.
Yeah. That's why we kind of put it off on council because wanted to make sure you get time to review it and time to get whatever you think back to the council.
We'll have to, I will have to have a special meeting to review that.
Well, you could bring it up under new business,
Or senior issues.
right? On your agenda.
And I also wanted to, that's the parking plan up there, as I think I mentioned at the forum that will create finally, the requested extra parking, so be in the island there. Find that to the right of this building there, and add some spots, I think we're gonna have a total of 16 spots of that. Yes, yeah, so that's in the design.
Is that the orange that you have there?
No, so the building's the orange, so it's to the right of the orange, kind of where the island is, where the parking is now. We're gonna expand that, I think they're, and it's kind of.
Yeah, you could go up and look at it if you'd
Yeah.
like.
We haven't even really seen it at the council, it's kind of preliminary, but it's a plan that,
Mayor, could you point out where you're talking about?
Yeah.
But I can't.
yeah, I think they're gonna go, they're going across to that other spot too.
They're taking down the railing
Yeah, they're picking up.
where the
that-
trees are.
It's over here, it's in this area.
Yeah,
Gonna add some spots.
where the staff
Yeah, we
parks.
haven't even seen it at the council yet, but, it's a plan that we have been trying to, figure it out what to do, so we finally got there. I think.
You're gonna have 16 spots by
I think
removing
it's
the
gonna be
railing?
16 total.
Yeah, they're putting some also on the other side where there's only two, and there's that grass area.
Yeah, over here.
Yeah.
Grass area that's in there.
And I believe they're adding some extra to the
Yeah,
median in
6.
the middle.
Yeah, 6 are going up here on the grass.
Yeah,
Yeah, 7 in the middle, 3 here, and 4 ADA ones here.
Yeah.
Oh, 3 over there too. Yeah, they're kind of
right.
trying to fit it in everywhere we can, so.
Any idea when it's gonna be finished? But you've
Well-
been talking about this for a long
Yeah, well, so finally we have the design, which is a good thing. We'll, certainly have the funding for it. Just has to be designed and, guessing, it's November now, so almost November, probably in the spring, should be able to start it, I think. I don't see why not, but again, council hasn't even seen it yet, but it's just going to the beginning stages of it.
They did the design. They do have the cost estimate. Their last discussion was about who was going to pay for it? Was it gonna be housing or was it gonna be the town? And I believe that Ryan said that they were looking at LoCIP funds,
Oh, yeah, I
possibly,
think we are looking at
LoCIP
some
funds
state,
to cover it. Cause the housing didn't have the funds.
right, yeah, I didn't think they would. pick
Yeah,
it.
so,
We'll find the funding.
Yeah.
It's not,
So just to be clear,
Yeah.
it's a total of 16 spots.
correct,
Not 16 added spots.
no, I think it's a total of 16, yeah.
By the
well,
time-
16,
Well,
yeah, it's
yeah,
16 more
More,
spots.
I think it is more, yeah.
Yes, it's
Because you got the
16 more
standards here.
spots.
So that brings the parking total.
I believe,
Is there 7 there in the middle now? Is 7?
I wanna say it's like, it was like 63,
Total.
yeah,
Well, up with the,
up in the upper,
yeah, up here too.
Yeah,
Y-
but how about the flat area around the island?
It's,
well, right now there's 4, 6, 8, 8,
we got another
Double here.
double.
yeah.
I mean, it's hard to fit them in there without ripping everything apart, but we are ripping a bunch of stuff apart there, but. So that, yeah, I just wanted you guys to take a look at that and see that we find it.
Well, their concern was too, is because we heard from housing that they were going to start, because they don't have enough parking for their residents. Because they have a lot of younger residents that have vehicles, that they were gonna start taking some of the spots that we have. Which we don't have enough as it is.
Yeah. we
Like
didn't
if-
wanna do that.
If we have an event with 100 people or more, there's not enough parking. They have to then go down the hill, which is not feasible for a lot of the seniors. So that was the concern with, the parking.
That still could happen.
Yes.
Could say they need more space.
Yes, yeah,
They
yeah.
have jurisdiction over the parking lot and what they have for space.
I mean, we work it out with them. I don't really know when they would have space.
I believe in the agreement that I think it states that the senior center has use of certain spots. And that's part of the town's lease with the housing. Just like in the maintenance of this portion of the building, the grounds, that's all in the agreement.
Yeah, the plan is never.
Okay,
Wouldn't help anybody really, so, but that's the plan, you know.
And the housing authority has seen this.
yeah, they've okayed it.
I think they've seen it already.
Yeah.
I understand.
They've okayed it. From what Ryan told me. Yeah, but we already have what the state requires. But they're gonna be putting in more with this.
More handicap will be added there.
Yes,
With
Yeah,
the,
it's mad.
yeah,
new design.
right.
Well, I hope that works because it's not working now.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I appreciate that. Mark, did you have anything?
And then just about, as I mentioned, obviously the senior housing project. Obviously, that's headed, the right direction. I know, Vesta has, submitted their paperwork. from CHFA, the funding. I think the plan is to go to BC. HA, group at their meeting in January, actually get it approved. Funding. Something here the other day, at Vesta, so. And we have to remember that they were invited into this program, pilot project. The very thing for several years, so. Positive thing, state's all for it, part of the housing, federal level, so. Yeah, January should be fine, according to them, going by what Aaron has said, that we approved at the January meeting.
Once it's approved, what's the timeframe?
Well, the developer, developer, their best, they're confident fit, so they wanna get going, as fast as they can, they ready to go, so.
Their plans are all approved town side ones?
Yes, yeah, we worked all that out, that's all approved, we gotta change some of the easement. With the, everything's, they're ready to go once they get their financing. They wanna knock down the, guys in Columbus and, get going, so, you know, they get approved in January, I'm sure, it depends on the weather, but. They're ready to go, they're really anxious to get this going, that's what they do. They build a project. That looks cool. The only other thing I wanted to mention, was the senior center / YMCA, whatever we're calling that, so that's with the YMCA now. We did all the site work on that, site across the high school on Patterson Way. So they have all the engineering that we have, good. Plan, so we'll see what they come up with as far as the site, you know, they did the boring to make sure we built the building there. Never really got that far. When it came from Park and Rec, remember, this all initiated Park and Rec, they're the ones who came up with this plan, then it went back for a revision. They still came back with a massive building, so after the entire council, the entire board of finance, unanimously voted that down and wanted to try the buyout. The Y has been pursuing us. Myself, council, no one's pursued the Y, they come to us. As you know, YMCA is already in town. They're in our schools, we have daycare in schools, we have a great deal worked out with them for their old building in Main Street, Kensington, which is now their transitional academy for high school, for folks that need a little bit extra help at the high school, so great cooperative relationship with them. And have had for years. So they approach us years ago, saying, hey, people want to build a lot. So kind of come together now. We'll see. It's up to them now. They have to, want them to look at the engineering and they can do fundraising for the MCA, but we could take financially, remember, so Britain, Pearl, and Merritt and Y. So we'll see. You know, gotta give it a shot, you know. They want to do it, they come up with it, you look at 30,000 square foot building in our pool, as what everybody wants, and of course, there'll be some meeting. But their plans are yet, got the exact plan yet, but they're on it. Go forward. Save the town $30 million. Remember always that the seniors, about every healthcare plan, Medicare, Medicaid, whatever you're in, private healthcare plan, have silver sneakers, pay, anything go. So we wouldn't get rid of the senior center, stay. There's no plans to get rid of it, to provide, build that, go there, their services, programs, whatever they do, stay here. We wouldn't be spending money to do the parking if we had any plans to get rid of it. That's some more space in the indoor pool. Dive team from town, perfectly for everybody, just like the plane go by. So, we'll see. They're interested, they got what they needed from the town. Wait to see, how many.
Is there a schedule or a time frame for them to respond, or?
No, not yet, but I mean, they know we want an answer fairly soon, you know, we have to then look at other options. I think the other option would be, we've had some basic discussions on it, council, maybe we could build it into a pool. I don't know what it is, 50,000 square foot building is hard to do. And, definitely indoor pool, but we built a locker room. And then we go from there, you could leave space to head on to it, could add a couple to it, could add a gym, maybe, to be determined, but that obviously, because it would be in excess of $5 million, go to referendum. People vote on it. It's a little scary to send that to the referendum, because we don't have a good track record until the referendum. You remember the police station years ago, 2 referendums, Nobody wanted to vote for that, that was 20 million, they brought it down to 17 million, still failed both times. But, you know, that would be the way it works under the charter, you know, if the Y doesn't build it, town would look at, I think, an indoor pool, which everybody wants, program, go to the Meriden Y, the Britain Y during the day, Monday, to Friday. Program for seniors. School, Capital school. Other groups there. So we gotta see what the light comes up with. Again, all started with Park and Rec, came to council. The price tag says building, council said no. Again, so no. Why? Say, so taxpayer money, you get the indoor pool, which is what we want.
Would the town have to vote on it?
Not on the Y, no.
Not on the wall?
No. Well, yeah, they're gonna fund the whole thing, we might make a contribution, but not, certainly not over $5 million down. We would, you know, since they're a nonprofit, we would lease it to them, probably for $1 a year or whatever. To be determined, but, no, they would fund the whole thing, that would, I think, a donation down. $5 million. That's the savings, that's what we're thinking. The fact that Brett hired was not, couldn't reduce it to a size that was tolerable for people. Very, very expensive, much too large. You know, kind of what I'm thinking about for the building. That's what you build. And you put it for a lot of other. So we'll see. They still seem excited about it. Talk to them, you know, monthly basis. Going, they were just waiting. They've been waiting now for the engineering. And we finished by using a grant we got from the state. It's money left over for that grant, which was to study the YMCA, which is what paid the original architect to draw the plan.
We got money left over from
Yeah,
that.
we still have some left over, which we, in fact, we just extended that grant. We're able to extend it, so we have 350,000 now, I think, out of that. Which
Which is not a whole lot of money considering the scope of it, you know?
no, but I mean, that was just for the, you know, we got that from the state just to look at the project, you know, and hire the architect, that really, or Park and Rec started the project, yeah, so it wasn't certainly not to pay for the building. Get that kind of money.
When would we be able to meet or hear from the Y about, first of all, their financing, because I understand that they have a problem financing the Britain without taking on a new project. So I would like to hear something from them.
Yeah, well, they've been to the council several times, but I'm sure once they have the latest engineering plan, they give them a hundred, we can have them here, look at it.
And they said they'll be able to finance it when they meet with the council.
They have told me right along, and the council, that they have no financing. But the thing in New Britain was a different issue, that came up at some point. They done very well and come down. Yeah, from what they say, fairly saving out there. We started the project, they obviously have to fundraise, pay for the whole thing. But financing, at least the last time they spoke to us, months ago now, I mean, you have to fund it, you know. Problem, of course, they go to businesses in town. They're experts at fundraising, that they do. So.
Well, my concern when I was on that special committee that you, put us on, that we did all that evaluation.
Yeah.
The Y at that time said that they weren't gonna do anything for seniors. Their main focus is child.
That's not true.
So
at
my
all.
concern, seniors are my concern.
Agreed, and every time they come to the council, they have multiple of senior programs, and if you visited the Meriden Y, you know, Tim was not, you know, made as well. If you go there from Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, pretty much, that's who's there, senior. They have a multiple senior program, which includes pool. And, you know, I think the other nice thing about it is obviously kind of nice dealing with the chair of the Borough and Meredith White, down at the Brian Borough. So, you know, nice little connection to Borough.
Yeah, he was the one that came to our meeting
Yeah.
and said,
Yeah.
they're not gonna be concerned with the seniors, only with, childcare.
I never heard that. I,
It wasn't a matter of, they said they weren't concerned with seniors, they said they weren't gonna build a senior center. When we went to the Meredith High to visit it, the whole place was full of seniors. They took out their pamphlets and showed us the daily schedule they had of different exercise classes, pool classes, any sort of, different craft classes that they have at the Meredith High every single day during the day. And they run generally from anywhere from 9 o'clock in the morning till 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then it kind of switches over to the afternoon problem. The kids at the Berlin swim team goes to the swim. So they have different events, but I went to the Meredith Y and it was full of seniors. I went to the, regional Y up in Putnam. And it was the same thing. It went in the morning, it was full of seniors in the exercise rooms, in the pool. They had 2 pools at the Putnam, the regional one is huge, it's 40,000 square feet. They have 2 pools up there and they had 2 separate senior classes going on at the same time in 2 separate pools. So it's not the matter of they're not concerned with seniors, they're not gonna build a senior center. That's pretty much what he was saying, that's what I,
Isn't Meriden building a senior center? City,
I'm sorry,
isn't the city of Meriden building a senior center?
Yes,
they have a separate senior center, yes, but it's not gonna have a pool.
Right, they're building a brand new senior center.
Yes, they're gonna basically, they're gonna kind of go with what we have now, a senior center, and then the Y will be the pool facility. None of the places we visited really had a senior center inclusive of the building. They all had their own separate, at least I went to 4 different places, that's how they were all set up.
And I think we have to consider the pool because Berlin is closed and Percival is on life support, so I think we need to talk about it in the pool.
indoor.
We need a pool,
Indoor.
an indoor pool,
Indoor.
but
Yeah.
there's more to the story of East Berlin than a lot of people want to know. East Berlin, we learned this through Park and Rec. East Berlin was closed. They actually came to the town council and requested they close it because they needed a lot of repairs, but it wasn't being utilized. There was several days in the season where nobody went there. So we were running the pool, we were maintaining it, we were staffing it, and they had no attendance. So it was actually the Park and Rec department that came to the council. I happened to listen to the meeting, I listened to all of them. I have nothing better to do with my life like this. They recounted, Obe came, and she's the one that proposed closing the pool and going into a splash pad, and that's what the town council is looking at now in Board of Finance. So it's not a matter of we're neglecting the East Berlin pool, it wasn't being utilized. Even the numbers for Percival now, I know when I was a kid, Mark and I grew up in this town. You couldn't go to Percival pool, you could have a hard time getting wet, so. Because there was so many kids there, and those bikes everywhere. Now, it's pretty empty. It's really pretty slow. My wife swims there in the summertime, but she says the same thing. She goes there, there's 15, 20 people. She goes swimming in the afternoon, she does her laps over there, and there's no bathing pool. So that's part of what we're dealing with, it's just underutilized.
My concern is having a pool that is for all the ages.
Yeah,
And for the seniors, I don't know what their, how do they do that? Will they be doing a membership for them, or how will they do that?
And
generally, it's what's like, the Silver Sneakers.
Yeah, but every insurance doesn't have to, so.
no,
Almost everybody does, I think.
you get a code from like you can go to Powerhouse. Not everyone.
Not all of them do, but most. I have Silver Sneakers, my wife has it.
As long as you're on an advantage plan, you can get. Those that are on traditional Medicare cannot, I'm part of Silver Sneakers. United Healthcare has their own program, it's called the Renew, separate from Silver Sneakers.
Do we know how many people in Berlin are on that plan versus Vantage?
Well, the advanced plans are what you can get Silver Sneakers.
Yeah.
So. United Healthcare has their own version of Silver Sneakers, if you will, and all the others fall into Silver Sneakers like Ekman's and Major Care. So, again, it's the facility that has to sign up to be part of Silver
Right.
Sneakers, you know, to be the event.
Yeah.
What tends to happen is Silver Sneakers membership is a basic membership that may not, usually does not include additional classes or different. If a fitness place has different levels, you know, you have the basic level, they put you in and get you the equipment, like money, pool, you know, get stuff up, a membership level. You pay for that stuff up in membership, so depending on how the body. You can change that they may have to pay to use that pool, if that's what they want,
Well,
or I mean, the class.
you have to keep in mind that if it goes forward, this is a partnership. And town's gonna contribute some money to building it, or something now. We're gonna get something for that. That has come up in our discussions, like, you know, leasing you the land for $1 a year. There's negotiations that will take place over this period. That's what we want. We don't want a lot of fees for road rent. So I see on it. That's, and they're open to that. It's not unusual. So we do that anyway, especially on circumstances. Towns working with them. That's, you know, and the other, many of the senior centers, certainly with the pool, there's fees for those, if the town owns. Towns charge fees to it. And the pool, I'm sure we will be charging a fee if the town builds. Not gonna be free. Not many of them are. Massive carrying costs, at least $1 million a year, at least. So it's gotta come from somewhere. So generally the towns, they're going to have a pool. The town charge. And many of them are not doing well. You know, I mentioned the new town, that's not doing well. They got a $10 million grant, I think, from GE to build it, but the, tragedy down. They're having money trouble there, they got $3 million carrying costs included above them. We can do it for this, give the indoor pools, but everybody in mind. Way to go. And just get back to the splash pad. Folks wanted the splash pad. I mean, there was not one person that came to any meetings once and I don't think the Park and Rec had any negative towards the splash pad. Rocky Mullet's having for years, so we can just put it in, for the town, felt relatively new one. Really popular thing, and plus, it's not just splash pad, it's gonna redo those tennis courts there, make pickleball. So it's a little bit, you know, it's still the pool over there where that pool is, it's, not the best place for the pool, there are some environmental folks there, people will be forced to use that pool. But again, instead, Park and Rec is the one who calls itself. No, the personal is up now.
A lot of it has to do with the age and condition of the pool and facilities. People don't wanna go to facilities that are outdated and. Oh,
I think it has to do with everybody's.
well, that has a lot to do with it as well.
That's why the town. It's another amenity that will come in. People have more amenities, rather than another pool. If we're gonna have an indoor pool one way or the other, we're gonna have, you know, first of all, it's not going anywhere, yes, it is. But it's just not, we're not getting the attention stuff. That'll change, but it doesn't seem like it's going down further. I don't know. So, another amenity to run.
Thank you.
That's why I would really like to see it go to referendum, because people, it should be all age level. And have some seniors in the morning, the kids in the, you know, little toddlers when. It just doesn't seem right that the town would not be in control of that. And then,
It's a $30 million, $40 million control, that's 2.3 mils on your taxes, that's probably another. Or you get the full bill for $1 million, to the Y, I don't need. Every Y in the United States, I lived in Santa Monica, that was the community center for Santa Monica. Full of gym, senior center, community. Virginia, same thing in Fairfax County. I mean, it's Plainville, but we don't have to go to California, Virginia, go to Plainville. That is their community center. So go to Southington, they have a small senior center, and they have a YMCA right there. It's like a win-win.
They have a pool,
At
the Y.
At the Y.
And at the high school.
Oh,
At the high school too, right? Why we didn't put it in the high school project? I don't know. Right?
Which is right next door to the senior center.
Yeah, I mean, right, they didn't even fix the tennis courts or the basketball court, so they didn't do a lot of stuff, still cost us 85. Yeah,
To be fair,
yeah,
it was in, the pool was included first spec when,
but that got voted out, right, isn't it?
well, they, yeah, it passed,
Yeah.
went back and pulled that out.
Yeah, well, there you go,
It wasn't included in the reimbursement from the state.
from state,
The
yeah,
full footprint is not,
yeah,
so the funding was based on the existing academic portion of the high school.
yeah, so you see what happened with that, it got voted down, right, so you see how.
It's the town that has funded it.
Yeah, well, that's my point, but you made a good point, that it got voted down.
We were at 85 going again, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Possibility was pretty.
Well, that's,
Yeah.
Not gonna spend that on senior community center.
Okay.
It's gonna run $45 million as opposed.
I
The
mean,
building department put it at 45 to 50.
yeah, I mean, listen, if the Y doesn't work, then whatever we do is gonna go to referendum.
Okay, well, let's hope the Y does their work.
Let's go.
Yeah.
yeah, because
Yeah.
are you gonna put some restrictions on how soon this would be done?
Oh, yeah, yeah, it's not gonna drag on forever, they're gonna have to do finance. so
Yeah, I would
we need
hope
it.
so.
Yeah.
Because
The
we've been
challenge
studying
is-
this for 2 years now.
The challenge is gonna be they have to win.
Okay.
Yes,
But they have the money, that's what we just heard, so.
They have,
What's
the
going on with
money-
Yeah.
they have the money to get
Yeah.
going, that's, it's, you know, I don't know. But it's not, they have not said to us that only their representation. And it's no
Okay,
trouble
well,
whatsoever.
this will be for another day, I guess.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much for
thank you
coming, and you could stay if you like, or you can leave, it's up to you. I know that you've been many meetings, so you probably want to move on, but it's up to you. Thank you, Tim, also for coming. Okay. Let's see. Senior Center Director's Report, Tina.
Okay, you should all have a copy, members. As of this month, we currently have 1,430 registered members, representing an increase of 54 new members since our last meeting in June. We continue to encourage all new visitors to complete our participant form so that we can maintain accurate records of attendance and engagement. Members are also reminded to use their key tags to swipe in at the kiosk each time they visit the senior center. These records are essential for maintaining accurate participation statistics, which support our budget planning and the reports submitted to state departments. Over the past several months, we've offered a variety of programs and activities designed to promote engagement, wellness, and social connection among our members. I've listed, these are the specials for July. It does not include the regular programs that we have every day. These are the specials. Same thing with August. I've listed for September and I've listed for October. So you could see that we have a plethora of different programs, from health to finance to, you know, social, entertainment. And I did not include the ones that are, weekly, you know, such as our exercise class, our cardio drumming, our yoga, our walking club, our, monthly visit by our, community officer, Megan Musanti, So I did not include those. These are the specials. Did also include like our setback, our bridge, our canasta, all those type of programs. Our congregate meal program, is still operating 5 days a week, with meals provided by RW Solutions, formerly CW Resources. However, meal availability remains limited to 45 meals per week, which is average of 9 meals per day. Despite this limitation, we have served approximately 621 meals since July to 52 seniors, ensuring seniors continue to have access to nutritious food options. And when I say that the meals are limited to 45 meal, if we go over the 45, then I have to pay extra for the meals. If they're 45 meals, then the seniors just pay $3. If they go over the 45 meals, I have to pay $5.50 a meal. So I pay the difference. The senior will pay the $3, I pay the $2.50 to cover that. And that it has happened. But I have set up, when we had where they had cut us off to 3 days a week, I created an emergency meal fund and people have donated to it, so I use those funds to cover that extra cost. Our transportation, since July, we have transported 127 riders to 90 different locations, providing 2,222 duplicate one-way rides. And one-way means going to, if they go from here to home, that's one way. If they go from home to here and then back home again, that's 2 rides. And that's how the state counts them. And then I also included the attendance status, stats, average per weekday, and then monthly. And then, Roger, you had asked about our non-resident membership. We currently have 20 non-resident members who participate regularly in our programs and activities. These individuals come from surrounding communities, including Rocky Hill, New Britain, Bristol, and Southington. Their involvement highlights the strong reputation of our senior center and the appeal of our programs throughout the region. Non-resident participation also fosters broader community connections and enhances the diversity of experience shared among our members. Yes, there is a fee that is set by the fee committee, which went before you as a commission that you agreed to. So does anyone have any questions about the report? Or the numbers or any of the activities? Oh, you're welcome. I would do that. Is there anything that you would like to see in addition to what I already provide you? I tried to cover the main things, our activities, our lunch program and transportation and our membership. Okay. And do you want me to go over this, Barbara? So Barbara and I, we had to do for the annual report for the Commission for Aging. And we had to submit about the Commission for Aging. So you got a copy of that, members? This is what was submitted for the annual report.
I think perhaps everyone has a copy, so they.
Yeah, so you just read it.
Yeah, on their own.
Every year we have to do it.
And then I'll
okay.
put that on the agenda for next time in case anybody has any questions about it.
Okay. All right, that's it for me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yamlin is absent. I did call her. I don't know what happened to her. Senior issues, Roger?
So, I was made aware of the proposed policy on, event sponsorship, and I drafted a letter that was for myself, since we didn't have time to meet as a commission, before the council was gonna have it on the agenda, and our meeting got postponed. So I did want to voice my concerns, and I did list, I mean, I gave a copy to everyone, but I'll read it real quickly, so that everyone can hear. kind of where my stance was and my thoughts on it. My name is C. Roger Moss. I'm Vice Chair of the Commission on Aging. However, I'm writing you today as a resident of Berlin and not speaking for the commission. I knew there wasn't a commission. It has come to my attention that the mayor is trying to place a policy in the Senate to regulate who and when sponsorship for programs and activities may take place. I wish to voice my concern with this proposed policy. Commission on Aging has not been met since the issue of event sponsorship has been brought in front of the council. I believe that they should have been made aware of this proposal much sooner and were allowed to weigh in on such a proposal as we are charged with addressing the needs of seniors in town. I reviewed the proposed policy and while I feel it is unnecessary since our very competent staff has had an unwritten policy since 1985, this has worked without issue, there should be some merit to spelling out what is allowed by outside vendors, groups, and or individuals. One of the points was number 4. I am not in support specifically of item number 4, prohibited sponsorships, bullet points 1 through 4. I believe this could be detrimental to the senior center. Living in a small town such as Berlin, many residents are involved in a variety of groups and organizations. Restricting them from presenting or sponsoring a free program to the residents and members of the senior center negatively impacts the mission of the senior center socially, educationally, and financially. The senior center staff have done an excellent job allowing a variety of non-political presentations, even when the sponsors are political organizations. Additionally, does the mayor realize that in a year when there's a primary, access for these groups will be reduced to less than half a year? The point that was made was that 3 months prior to any election, a group affiliated with any political party wouldn't be allowed to sponsor an event. So if you look at an election of a primary, that increases the length of time to 6 months. The math, 3 months before the primary, the month of the primary, 3 months before the election, and the month of the election equals 8 months in total, where no sponsorship would be allowed by political groups. So he's 4.5 years. I'm not sure if the mayor is aware, but individuals pre-register for events and programs. They're going to attend at the senior center based on the information provided. The topic is not as expected. They may leave, and if so, then voice their concerns to the staff or commission for corrective action. As a side note, the trivia event that so concerned the mayor was already canceled due to lack of registration. Call to the director of the center to get more information might have been a more prudent response as opposed to making or write an entire policy. The senior center relies on groups and individuals to sponsor events and programs such as bingo and shred it, both of which I have personally sponsored in the past. This is a common practice nationally, and senior center budgets tend to be the target of town finance committees and politicians when budget cuts must be made due to lack of funding in the community. Eliminating all sponsorship opportunities would result in violating the mission of the center itself. I am also concerned with comments the mayor has publicly made regarding people, in quotes, complaining about these events at the senior center to him. The mayor has not given specific instances of what the complaints were, nor has he provided any details to town staff so corrective action may be taken. He has also publicly stated he wasn't sure if they were even credible. It is in the past 2 years, the Berlin Senior Center has received a national award for programming and other recognition. Therefore, I feel that the vast majority are largely more than satisfied with the services provided. In closing, I have 2 points. 1, why is this policy solely targeting the senior center and not all town departments? And 2, I would ask that the proposed policy be removed from consideration and the current unwritten policy that has been in place since 1985 remain in place. Respectfully, C. Roger Moss. I sent it, this was addressed to the town manager, Ryan Curry, but I also copied all the council on it as well.
But it's not just the mayor, it's the whole council. Not you. I'm sorry, that's.
What was that?
Well,
All the council.
okay.
One vote.
Oh, no, I understand it's all.
Okay.
I didn't indicate that it was.
I didn't say
Yeah,
that.
that's just.
I just said that I sent it to the entire council.
That you said, but in the body of it, just point your finger at the mayor.
2 points that you have made publicly.
Yes,
Okay.
that's a couple of my points, others have other.
Okay. Well, I highlighted the 2 points that you have made that it was clearly about people complaining without any bias or any background to that.
Yeah.
So it can't be corrected. That's not an untrue statement, is that correct?
Yes, well, as I said now, about the fifth time, many meetings. People come to me, they don't wanna come forward, they don't wanna be subjected to the things they need to be subjected, whether it's in person or on social media. So they ask me to do it, that's part of my job as the mayor. So that's why I can't break that confidence, if someone says to me, complain, I'm not gonna go forward and say, well, so-and-so just complained, that defeats the purpose of
Correct.
what they want.
I agree with that, I agree
And
with
that
that.
happens every day. I get emails, please don't bring my name forward. I'm complaining about, I don't know, the dog park. I'm complaining about this, that.
Sure.
They don't wanna come forward,
But
because they know what happens when they do. Go.
No, I apologize for interrupting you. That is absolutely, I understand that. I agree 100% with that, because you will get less people coming forward if they know their name is flashed or whatever.
Yeah.
However, staff for the town can't do anything to correct problems if specific problems are not brought to them. So if somebody complains about the dog parking, who runs the dog park?
Well, town.
There's your department or other.
Right.
Park and Rec?
Yeah.
So, I mean, would you not go to the Park and Rec staff or commission and say, hey, just so you know, we had complaints that there's too much poopers. I saw a post about poop bag hanging on, symbol of the trail, right? But wouldn't you say, hey, there's a problem, I want to make you aware of it? So that you can either, let me know how we're gonna get it.
Yes, that's why the town manager is, not me.
Oh,
The
okay,
town manager also has. That's why
okay,
he's the one who went to Tina, our resident expert, and said, maybe we should do a policy.
Hmm.
And she went to different towns and came up with this policy, so
And-
that's where we're at. I mean,
and wait,
Yeah.
and then it went to court council, and they made it into from a one-page document to a three-page document.
already.
No, it was a one-page.
But, well, of course, we're gonna run it by legal counsel, that's what we do, so we don't get sued, right?
Right,
Yeah.
but attorneys get paid by the word, so we know that, one page turns into three and
No, he's got a flat rate, so.
per word.
He's the cheapest kind of attorney you can find in Buffalo.
I'm not doubting that.
We have to do that, right?
I understand that, but again. Tina copied other communities' policies that were one page long. And took the best of those policies, am I correct, Tina?
I use part of it, not all.
No, but you.
But I'm saying that I went to all the senior centers in the state of Connecticut. I sent down an email and I asked, who has a sponsorship policy? Because I had never written one and I didn't have I wanted examples of what other centers had. I got 3 replies. One didn't have one had an unwritten one, and one had a written one.
What
So I
community- what
use-
community did you hear back from?
Rocky Hill didn't have any.
Okay.
Newington had an unwritten one,
Okay.
and Glastonbury had the written one.
So surround.
So I used, you're right, the surrounding town. So I used what I got.
Exactly.
And then it went, when I wrote it, I let my assistant director look at it, I let my supervisor look at it, Ryan looked at it, and then it went to the town attorney. And that's the final draft, right?
Got some input from, many residents have been there talking about it, and we want your input. Not done.
Right.
It may end up as a page, who knows? It seems a little lengthy to me too, quite frankly, but,
And it was pulled from the council's agenda from the last meeting.
yeah, because I wanted guys to come to but your meeting before our council.
Okay.
So I was planning on going to that meeting, but since it got canceled, I had to wait till this one. So without your input, why would I talk about it?
Gotcha. We appreciate that.
That was the reason. That's why we're here tonight.
Good.
My concern is the sponsorships were they were not political in any way. They were just people or groups that wanted to add to something to the center, to sponsor something. And if they weren't giving political speeches or anything like that. So I felt the policy was not warranted because it wasn't political.
Well, the whole policy is not about what, a list of different, you know, I mean, it's covering more than that, I know that's part of it, probably. Part of it that is drawing the interest, I guess, so, yeah. You know, it's on here, on it.
And the other, how, they will have to do a policy,
Library has a policy,
library has a policy.
your company. Community center does too,
They have written policy,
library does,
Park and Rec does not.
right, and not.
And I'm not sure whether the library has their policy, but it's not clearly with an application and on their website.
The, it's not. Well, that's policy, town building. You can't walk into town hall and do certain, walk into town building, your tax and do whatever you want. That's, no, that's not how it works, but I think the paper that Tina does anyway, I mean, quite frankly, Tina does a great job. You're not gonna be here forever. Maybe she will, I don't know. It's like she might. But-
Nope.
But the point.
Nope.
Which is great for us.
I
but
started my countdown already.
When she leaves, you know, policy that's unwritten, that's pretty scary, but things change in any entity. Your business is town. You want that continuity to be the same. So, you know, with your input, with Tina's input, you know, Roland's input that came from me. That's why you ensure that it's been.
Right, but an unwritten policy that's been in place since 1985.
Yeah.
It's not a short term, it's a very long period of time, so to all of a sudden say, geez, we better put something in writing now, that was prompted by one event, in my opinion, is kind of overshooting the need, that's all.
Yeah, no, I get it, I know, that's a valid point, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole world is, you know, like I said before, I've said it a couple times, that, you know, we can't walk into the school like we used to look, right? Watching kids class, watching how they, we can't even go in without, before we got out of guard. Things change, and we don't want to get there here or in the town building, but you need to look at, yeah, unfortunately, you need to have a record of it. And make sure you kind of understand who it is today. I wouldn't want KKK coming in and sponsor anything else, you know, nor would we approve that.
No.
And neither would staff.
But believe it or not, you know, you don't know the staff, you just don't know. I don't understand the
But the,
resistance to a piece of paper that encapsulates what we do anyway. If we write down what Tina does anyway, that's a problem. Why would that be a problem? Makes some sense. And that's the lawyer in me talking, because I like a policy that's written there, so we know how it works.
right, but it also, the policy that's proposed,
Yeah.
with some very strong restrictions on who cannot use the facility during an 8-month period, which is very restrictive for teenagers.
How do you get 8 months? That's great.
3 months before, the month of the election, 3 months of another before another 3 months before a primary, and month of the primary.
What are you saying, 3 months before primary?
You said 3 months before an election. That's what the policy says.
No, that's that wording. That's wording. You're interpreting. And the month of
Wait a
the
minute.
election, wait, the month of the election is November 4th, anytime after November 4th. It's
So
not a whole month.
it's three months leading up, 3 months prior to an election.
Well, I wouldn't say primary.
Well, okay, the lawyer in you,
We'll
however.
fix it. We can fix it. That's why we're getting input. Rob.
Great, that's great, but,
That's fine.
all right. But that's not the way it happened. If we didn't
Yeah.
voice our concern, there could easily be a policy in place tonight that has all that in. And if another group didn't come to the meeting prior to that, there could be a policy that got voted then that would be in place with all of the language from.
Listen, all I can tell you is never vote something in that quick land council, at least not while I've been here, then always take it. Everybody, all of them. I mean, I go to, I said this recently in Cornell. Cornell came and, you know, grassroots came, I don't know, they spoke for an hour and a half, maybe, all the folks that signed up, not all you guys.
It was 80.
Yeah, it was a lot of time, which is good.
And
Yeah, well, of course, but that's what that's what we want on the council, we want good. But when I go to the Board of Ed, you get 3 minutes and they shut the mic off, so, you know, a little bit different at the council, and it's very disappointing for our own Board of Ed. 5 people want to speak, you get less than, you get 3 minutes each, but, so that's why, you know, people say, we don't take input at the council, we couldn't be more wrong. I wish, I've said this before, I'll say it a million times, I've said it, I don't know how many times, I wish more people came to the council. Because we want to hear what our voters want and what they think. So it's a good thing, John, not a bad thing. I don't look at it that way, maybe some people, I don't know. But again, this is a unanimous thought to look at this policy. Everybody in the council agreed that let's look at this, let's see.
Okay.
Not done yet. So.
I guess my opinion is the vice chair of this commission, is that before it goes to vote again, we hope we would see a revised draft that we can make comments on.
And you will.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no question.
Okay.
Yes,
So we have to review it
Right,
yes.
and revise it and.
or make our comments, send back our
And
comments,
send
we're not
it
gonna
back.
revise it, we're gonna say, A, good, B, no, C, maybe should be this, whatever, but we will talk about that at our commission.
I just wanna make one comment. It seems like the senior center has been, I don't wanna say targeted, but between this policy and between the fact that we had to have people, be fingerprinted and, all that, we lost a lot of volunteers.
Well, that's the insurance requirement.
Well, that's
So-
not me.
I don't.
So-
No.
We're not saying.
Yeah.
Not you, I'm just saying,
Well,
the senior center has had to comply
Yeah.
with these, now the policy, then the insurance, you know, and
But do you think there's a reason for that? Because there's been problems with the insurance company that probably knows more than we do about insuring places like this, that who knows who they've let into certain buildings? I don't know.
well,
There's a
not
reason.
us, so we haven't had.
No,
you
it's
know.
not
But it's,
you,
it's
but,
a national standard,
Yeah.
Barbara, it's not something that they're picking on just Berlin senior.
Right.
but,
That insurance company makes sure that everyone that they insure follows the same standard, so when there is a problem, they can say, hey, we do it for everyone that we insure this way.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, residents in Berlin were offended by it,
They
didn't feel
were.
accepted
Yeah.
or whatever, but unfortunately, that's the way of the world we live, in, and I
Yeah.
don't disagree with that at all.
yeah, no. I
And
mean-
we did lose volunteers.
I know that,
You know,
but we'll gain some.
it's for your protection, but it's also so that I have to take a claim out, basically, right? So I mean, do you want somebody that has sort of criminal record, some, in the back, what criminal record it might be, coming in here? I mean, not, you know, not a parking ticket, but I mean, you know, if there's some horrendous background that someone has, whether they're a sponsor or whether they're, you know, a town resident. May not want them in here for different reasons, right? So I sort of get why insurance companies do that. That's another level of protection.
Another level of things that we've had to
Yeah,
assess, you know.
but again, that's my point. Society is a little bit different today than it was in, let's face it. Just turn on the news, it's a little bit different. than 20 years.
Okay.
Okay, so as far as the policy goes, we will review it. We'll make changes if we have changes or suggestions. And then we'll, get back to you with that, or back to the council, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not back to Ryan, put it on an agenda.
Yeah. And that would be at the council, we're discussing.
Oh, yeah. We've got the public comments, we've got the guys' comments. Anyone else?
I don't know
Okay.
if there was any other public comment on that.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you very much. That was, very informative and very important too. Okay, we'll move on to Ann. Did you have anything to report?
Not really, there wasn't much change.
Okay.
No water problems with all the rain we had there for a while? No water problems with all the rain we had?
No,
That's good, they seem to have solved that problem.
yeah, but they put in a new floor also.
Yeah.
You know, so now it's up, and supposedly they can go through the floor, they, I guess they can take it up. If the sewage blocks again,
Yeah. Okay,
but I hadn't heard what they're gonna do about that, they haven't.
Mm,
Okay, thank you, Ann.
It's an housing, but
Jerry, do you have anything?
I would just like to say one thing, I appreciate that the town came in and fixed the ladies' room and the men's room. We still have the problem of the small toilet. It's not a big thing, toilet, a higher toilet would be maybe $500. We've had.
I know, but
toilets-
it's not the cost of the toilet. It's the plumbing in the wall.
No. Went to below, find out what would a toilet cost that goes into the wall, that is the problem. You have to go in there and see some of these people, we got grab, I'm glad we got the grab bars, it's all lighted in there, everything is nice. But those toilets are for elementary school kids. They have not changed those toilets at all. since
The height.
The height of,
The height of-
they're low.
Yeah, you feel like you're sitting on
Can
the
we do
floor.
it, Tina? Can we change? No?
Now, I've been working with facilities on it. And they said if they got the higher toilets, it has to do with the plumbing in the wall, that they would have to redo all the plumbing in the wall.
Oh.
Right, that it would be too much money. I did ask him if maybe he could get, cause no, you didn't want the risers, they were gonna do risers on the toilets. I said, even if they could get a toilet that was just slightly a little bit higher, and he was looking into that. I haven't heard back from him. But I did see if they could go maybe a little bit higher, not as high as you would like, but
Small, for anybody.
I know, I
don't
know,
What's in the men's room, but I know in the ladies,
I know,
and thank God we have the grab, but
I know.
Do we know what too much money means?
They just said it was costly. They would have to redo all the plumbing in the walls. No, in the bathrooms, in order to have the higher toilets. That's what I was told.
I mean, can we at least get an estimate?
I believe they did.
Fine.
I spoke to Doug Solik. Yeah,
No.
yeah, he's,
so you'd like to see that proposal?
Yeah.
okay,
You forward it on to the mayor, please?
yes. I will do that.
I mean, public building.
I mean, Doug was gracious enough, he had money left from some other project that he came to me and said, do you need anything done at the center? And that's where I got the new bathroom stalls. Right, and I will, and paint and redo that, which made it look much nicer, cause it was there since 1985. Cause I had asked for higher sinks too for you. And for the toilets. But I will get that proposal from Doug.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's great, but let's, you know, I mean,
Yeah,
you know, it's the beginning of our budget year.
Right.
Some projects that we wanna do, yeah, they.
yeah, cause I had asked for they wanted higher sinks. And they wanted higher toilets. Because she's right, they're like at a school grade level. Right, and they have been there. And I believe they've been there since 1985. So I will get that.
No, like I say, I don't find it do this year, like, but, you know, we always have cost savings typically in certain projects, so.
Yeah, Doug did, I mean, he did go bring somebody in and look at the project and got the cost, so. Okay,
Thank you, Jerry.
we will get your toilets, Jerry.
Put a gold and black on it.
Yeah. Toilet, Jerry's toilet,
Gold seat.
yeah.
Okay.
Around the corner.
Heated. Oh, yeah, heated would be much more important than gold.
Yeah.
Gold.
All right, my apologies to you, Arlene, for leaving you off the agenda. You have, and this is the second time. You will
No,
not
she could
have
report.
The next time around. Do you have anything special, please?
Actually, I met with
Yep.
Sammy today, just to get, because I'm new to the commission, I really wanted to understand, how we interact with the senior center. And it was really a really good meeting, and, in the future, we may have, when we decide to, she asked about programming, things like that.
Yeah.
Keep my eyes open, those kind of things. And then, I have to tell you, I'm looking forward to seeing the policy and working, together with this, and, I have been to those meetings about policy, and it's good, because I feel like it is being open to the community to give up feedback on it, so it's gonna be great to be able to do that, get that feedback. Just so, how can I help you, and stuff, kind of, right to her.
Yeah,
So,
we had a good meeting, yeah.
and I signed up to,
Yeah,
Yvonne?
and became, I told her as a resource because she was trying to help her sister. And I said, yeah, you should have called me. I have a lot of resources. And she goes, I didn't even think about that. So now she knows.
Thank you very much, Arlene, and I appreciate, the fact that you took that initiative to meet. Great, thank you. Tell me about that. Very good. The next report would be mine. And, I did attend the council meeting, in September. And then again, the presentation in November 22nd, where they reported on the senior project, the housing project. And I spoke to, yesterday to, I did put in the call, we were gonna have our last meeting before it was rescheduled. I called Aaron from Vista, and I never heard back to him. So I complained at our little social Thursday night, I complained to Brian, and he, sure enough, the next morning, I got a call from Aaron, and we discussed, housing. And this has been a concern of mine for all this while, but he tells me that everything is set for the town, all the applications have been approved by the town. And he's waiting for CHFA applications that are in progress. And he hopes to start construction, if all goes well, in March of 2026. And it will be completed in 14 to 16 months if all goes well. 70 units, 1 and 2 bedrooms. I did not get into him about anything with, financing or anything like that, or rents, that was what I should say. But, I just want everyone to know that there's a waiting list. This is so important for senior housing. There's a waiting list in Marjorie Moore for 89 people at Percival Heights. Marjorie Moore is 72 people, Percival Heights is 89, 161 people on the wait list for senior housing. Now that is a lot of people. With only 70 units that will be built. I'm not saying everybody that's on the wait list is gonna wanna go into the new senior housing, but there's only 70 units, that will be provided when the new house finance is done. So I was happy to hear from Aaron. He sounded very positive, and, I just hope that it goes through. As he said, everything is in place except the financing from this. And I did have a question. Years ago, there was a ERAP program, Elderly Rental Assistance Program, that was discontinued by the state, and I wondered if anybody knows anything about that and where we could find out if
When was that in effect?
it was discontinued several years ago. And
In-
it was called ERAP, Elderly Rental Assistance Program. And I just.
And
want
do you
to
know who administered it?
It no, but it provided rent subsidies for senior housing and was eliminated by the state because they said there was no money in housing.
Well, you do know OPM through the state of Connecticut does the renters rebate program, which
Yeah.
is a tax relief program for renters.
Yeah.
So
That's
maybe,
not it.
no, but maybe this became that program.
Oh, you think that's what happened?
It could be.
How would we find that out? I just don't know where to go to find that out.
I know, the gentleman at OPM, Patrick. I
Oh,
could
okay.
ask him,
That would
because
be
it's
good.
either through OPM or it's through, Department of Social Services, DSS. Or even I could check State Union on Aging.
I just wanted to mention one more thing about housing. Aaron said that it would be probably about 2 weeks for the demolition to be completed. And someone was concerned about the asbestos, but he said Vista will be doing air monitoring entirely through the demolition. So that's, I'm sure, is something that people wanted to know. So, let me see. Oh, and I did attend the planning and zoning meeting June 12th regarding senior housing, and I have that agenda if everybody, needs it.
Barbara, is it true that because it's federally funded, that the wait list isn't just for residents, that it's?
That's right. Yes, they have to be accepting, all people because it's federal, but,
But it is just seniors.
yeah.
It's not like, well, no, like the funding for like Percival Heights and Marjorie Moore, they have to take young disabled because of the type of funding.
That's why we don't have any senior housing.
Right. Right, so the new one would be seniors.
Which is what age?
I believe it's 55 and older.
Well, we wanted housing,
Right.
but it's get there with the finance until they came up with this new program, right? It's like affordable senior housing. Finance, basically say put the plow back and forth.
Yeah.
Now, the government, it's the federal and state, right? It wasn't. Their priorities, right, change, they do that, and don't have what they're really looking for. So we're real lucky we got some. They're not headed in that direction,
No.
which is senior housing.
But our consultant from Maine tells me that ours is going to be senior housing.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be family.
Because of the
housing.
funds. Right,
So that,
And that's what they do. Kind of their niche that they're in. I mean, they build around the country and everything. That's why we got it now. They had a great reputation, getting what we want.
well, I was impressed with Vista because not only do they build the project, they also manage it. And that's so important because we've had so many issues with management in these projects, like people come and go, and you don't have a consistent person to manage. So I thought that was very, very beneficial to have them manage. And he sounds very, when I finally got to talk to him, he sounds very accessible. And, I said we would be happy to help in any way we could. He was happy to hear that. Yeah. Okay, so that's it for my report. Is there any old business to come before the meeting? If there's none, any new business?
I did want to mention two things that I did not mention in my report. So energy assistance has started. Our social action agency is New Opportunities of Greater Meriden. They service Berlin, Southington, Wallingford, and Meriden. We used to be able to get a staff member to come here so that our residents didn't have to go to Meriden. They cannot do that this year. because they are short-staffed. So what they are doing phone intake interviews. So our seniors don't have to go there. They call, there's an automated system, they make their appointment. The day of their appointment, somebody from New Opportunities will call them and then take their info. Then they send the application to them, which they have to sign and then return, along with copies of their documentation. So the issue that I'm finding is that people that heat with deliverable fuel, oil, propane, and kerosene, they need to go first because their heating season is shorter for their benefits. We're finding that some of them are getting scheduled in February when they should be doing in November, because then they're able to get maybe all the benefits that are allowed to them. If they go in February, they're not going to because it ends in March. So I have brought it to the attention of New Opportunities, asking them if they could move these people up to like November or December. I haven't heard back from her, but we are here. I've directed my staff that if somebody heats with deliverable fuel, they're to send them to Sammy or I, and we will make sure that they get an appointment earlier than January, February, or March. Everybody else, the electric and the gas, they're fine because they don't get their benefit till May anyway, so they have plenty of time. So in case anyone talks to you about that and there's an issue, you know, please direct them to me. Right. The other one is SNAP benefits. Okay, there are, and I did get the info from the state. I did that today because I wanted to know how many of our folks in Berlin are on SNAP. So they did have a, was able to print it. I think it's like 1352. 1,352 people in Berlin are on SNAP. That's not just seniors. That's younger, you know, families. So I reached out to social services and said, like, you know, do we have a plan in place so that if the government does not open in November and they don't get their November benefits, they can still use their October if they have them. First they said they couldn't use them past October 31st. That has changed. I went to a meeting this morning. They said you can use them, if you have them on your card, you can use them past October 31st. It's just that you're not getting any in November if they're still closed. So we're trying to make a plan in place as to, you know, making sure that the people that if they don't get their benefits, that we have food for them. So usually in November, December, when they do holiday assistance, they don't do their regular distribution. They just get their holidays. So that is, I think, going to be different this year. If that happens, that they will get more than just their holiday assistance. Okay. They also have given me, I have a list of other pantries besides the ones in town, which we have two. We have our town one and we have St. Clair's at Sacred Heart. And I know that Food Share too is also increasing their food. So if you have somebody that comes to you that's on food, you know, SNAP, and they're questioning about their benefits and all that, send them to me because I have all the info. Okay, so I just want to make that known as to, so I can explain to them about their benefits that they have. If they don't have any, how we get them the resources that they need. Because I know there are quite a few seniors on SNAP and we don't want them going without. So,
You'll be able to provide for them if,
yeah,
good.
we will make it happen, Barb.
Oh, good. No, anyone's going.
No, we do not. But I just want people to be aware of them. No, we do not want them going hungry.
There's no old business, under new business. Anyone have any new business? I
Nope.
just want to
Just
mention
that.
that I did the calendar for next year. And we have to submit that by the end of January, and we will vote on it at our January meeting. I'll have it all printed up by that time, so, we'll have all our dates for next year. Okay, I guess that's it. I'd like a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second. Thank you all for coming,
Thank you. Oops.
for being.